Oh my God, it's recording now. Oh my God. If you're someone completely eccentric like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, who can come up with some incredible ideas, right? It's very hard to get your product or service out to someone somewhere, wherever around the world. So having a good understanding of marketing is very important, but at the same time, being able to create an effective marketing campaign is very critical to the longevity of your startup and really getting the word across by your product. So we will teach you in this second workshop for this challenge about how to create an advertisement using Facebook. So Facebook, I don't know if you guys know, is a really good platform to advertise, and they have some really cool tools that people can mess around with, especially when you're targeting a specific audience. If you want to, target a specific geography, like there's so many different factors and tools that you can manipulate, and because of how much data Facebook collects on people, its advertising campaign is incredibly powerful. And which is why digital marketing is one of the largest drivers for people, especially entrepreneurs, getting into foreign markets and getting their word across about their new product. That's really cool, whatever. So your job is to create a prototype, create an advertisement that sort of validates your idea of your prototype. Essentially, meaning, how are you going to understand what the customer's needs are, by without validating your sorry, how are you going to validate your customer's needs by using an advertisement? What exactly are you going to do in that call for action? So these are all things that we really want you to think about when you're coming up with your project. And at the same time, when you create an advertisement, it's not going
Oh, this is a
to
bad idea, Steph.
what? Did someone say something? Okay. So having an advertisement is one thing, but being able to assess the effectiveness of your advertising campaign as well as your prototype is another thing altogether. So you should be able to collect. This is all theoretical, by the way, but you should be able to understand how data is being collected from your ad, and being able to adapt that and fine tune your advertisements or even your prototype accordingly. You need to have a strategy in place in order to understand how you'll improve your products, and at the same time how better understand the idea of product market fit. So our goal is really to help you understand the process of iteration, understanding that you are going to start at point A, and then you're going to keep refining and refining and refining before you actually achieve product market fit. So these are the four things that you need to create. And last but not least, the pitch is also part of the presentation, where you need to create a problem statement and explain how you've identified the problem, whether you've surveyed the market or whether you've specifically surveyed the market or discovered a customer pain point. Well, how did you exactly understand that specific problem is a problem worth solving? That's what we want you to discuss. We want it to be a very simple, clear product statement. Does this sound good to everybody so far? Does this make sense? Do you have any questions? Good. Okay. Um, so the presentation, which includes all four of these elements, should be within a 5 to 7 minute presentation time slot. Sorry. So again, we just want to see a demonstration of your Figma prototype. It can literally be like, okay, I'm going from this screen to this screen when I click this button, and here's how it's helping me to create value in this specific uh, area. That's all we're really asking for. We're not really asking for very specific details. Which really, we want to test your ability of your understanding of product market fit. That being said, you should have a pretty clear understanding of the strategy to assess the effectiveness, which is what we're going to be talking about in the second workshop down the line. Yeah, someone had a question. I was
Uh, do we have to use Figma? Like I have some experience in other programs.
Yeah, so Figma is one of them. Figma is the easiest one to use. If you have any other software, like what software were you thinking of, Savvy?
Well, I usually just use a drawing program.
Yeah. So some people have also used like Paint. So, that's what we talked about. Like you can also use Paint or whatever pretty simple software. As long as you're showing a demonstration proof of concept, you're demonstrating a proof of concept and applying that design thinking principles, you'll be fine.
All right.
Yeah. So you can use any software. But yeah, you just have to demonstrate the functionality of your prototype. Like how is it going to work? What's that user experience going to look like? So on and so on. So, like I said, you have to create a 5 to 7 minute presentation, and really try to focus on answering these questions. They'll really help you in terms of keeping your presentation structured. Um, Something else that I want to go about. Oh, yeah. So, whatever we're talking about, like in these 4 elements, are very, very theoretical. Like, it's very hard to test product market fit without actually testing product market fit. You get what I mean? So now, because it's such a comprehensive topic and there is a lot to this specific challenge, we do expect you to understand how to use Figma and how to sort of like have a very basic understanding of digital marketing. And all you have to do is really go through the prep resources that Teamwork came up with. These are really good in helping you have a baseline knowledge and being able to build off of that using the concepts that we teach you at the workshop. Sabi, do you have another question?
No, I just
Oh,
know
okay.
to remove my.
Oh, okay. No worries, no worries. Yeah. So go through these tutorials and blogs. They're really good in explaining the design thinking process and especially like how to get started with Figma. One of the really cool sites that I'm going to show you is, sorry, my dad is being kind of loud. Is this specific site here. This design diamond is sort of what Dennis actually showed to us when we were creating this workshop. And it does a really good job of explaining how to get from point A to point B. And if you notice in the beginning, you're really trying to focus on designing the right thing in the initial stages. And then in the later stages, when you start getting that experience and start getting that customer feedback, you're trying to design things right. So in the beginning stages, you're discovering, researching, defining, synthesizing your information together. And in the very end, you're slowly starting to ideate some solutions and implement that to a properly functioning solution. So this blog is pretty good in directing you to other resources. Um, it does a good job of keeping things high level. If I scroll down a little bit more, it explains a little bit more about the ideation process. One of the links that's here actually was really, really, really good. Let me just find it. I think it was, yeah, this specific design kit um, website. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's Design Kit. So it's by IDEO, which is actually a really cool entrepreneurship sort of knowledge site, I guess. And these guys actually do a really good job of leading you through that point A to point B sort of diamond that we showed earlier, and really focusing on like each one of these is its own sort of web page, and if you click on it, it has its own like steps. It's very procedural, so it's easy for people to understand. And like as you scroll through, it talks about how do you align on your impact goals, how do you conduct an interview, conversation start. And when they're talking about interview, it can be whether it can be a potential employee, it could be a customer, you know what tools can I use to understand people. These are all very, very, very good web pages that I would highly recommend you guys check out. They're all linked into the in the preparatory resources page. So definitely check them out. Like it goes into like exploring the theory of change, articulate and interrogate your assumptions on how solutions will create a positive change. These are all like really good. How do I prototype my ideas? These are all really, really good ways of like getting some a baseline of knowledge. And at the same time, we will be using some of these principles in the future workshops at a very high level, of course. And we will be going specific into some of these specific things. And if you keep going, like it keeps going on and on and on. Anyways, So that's really about the design thinking process that I would highly encourage you to check out later. The goal is by next Tuesday, you guys sign up within your groups. I understand some of you guys are also doing cup. If you're doing cup, then you can by all means sign up for this one as well. Just understand that there is a like if you're in cup, you are going to be participating in cup, but you can definitely sign up for this specific event, but we aren't at the capacity to support 70 groups, 70 cup groups. So keep that in mind. But if you definitely want to join, like feel free to join the event and we can work accordingly from there. So definitely sign up for the event, for the feedback session that's on the 26th. The form is due on the 22nd. You just create a Figma account and get started with the basics of constructing a visual prototype. Again, everything's listed in the preparatory resources section, so check that out. By the following Tuesday, so that's workshop. So this is by workshop one. So by January 12th, also on January 12th, sorry, where I'm going to be teaching you guys a little bit more about that discovery and design discovery, and I think it was synthesis process. So if you're looking at that diamond, it was like right here, like this first diamond, we'll be going over that next week, and then that following week, Timur is going to be looking at these two components right here, the second diamond. So that's what we're going to be doing. So next week is that first diamond. So once you get your understanding of that first diamond, you're going to be applying all that knowledge onto your Figma prototypes and really starting to hone in your skills to starting to create your presentation. So that should help you with the pitch. Where's the pitch? Yeah, the pitch and sort of the prototype, that first diamond. And that second diamond, which is on the 19th, which is Timur's workshop, should help you to address these components right here, which are the advertisement and the strategies to assess an effective ad and prototype. So that's about it. Everything else is listed on here. I know I kind of glossed over it a little bit. But do you guys have any specific questions about this specific project, about the case? Any sort of questions in general?
So like we're just trying to market a product, right?
Not necessarily market. You're going to be validating your product. So in some sense, yes, you will be marketing a product, but that's not the entire thing. You're going to be creating a custom. You're going to be creating a user interface. You're going to be doing some other things. Marketing is only one way, a tool, I suppose, to validate your idea and how it's responding with a market's need. Yeah.
So we're creating a product and then like advertising it and oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, you're not going to do this like practically speaking, like you're not going to go create a Facebook account and actually like make an advertisement. You'll probably be using one of the templates that we give you, but you should be able to produce an ad, using a template and explain how the components of the ad look like, and then really dig deep into the strategy of how you'll assess that effectiveness of the ad. If is it reaching X, Y, and Z people? Is it really are people really like pursuing that call for action? You're going to be digging deep into all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. See how effective the advertising was. Yeah. Is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Are there any other questions?
Just to clarify, so next week, Timur is going through the workshop with Figma, right?
No, next week I'll be going over the workshop, and that's specific to the research and discovery portion. That first
Oh,
time
okay.
talking about Timur,
Okay.
the Timur's workshop will be the following week on the 19th, I believe. Yeah, 19th.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Will we be getting a chance to actually, because you know how Figma is only like the prototype, will we be getting a chance to, build the app and like make it have the interactions and see it in play?
So by build, you actually mean like code the app itself?
Yes.
So the coding part, we aren't going to be digging too deep into that at this point in time, simply because um, we are just trying to understand. We're trying to explain product market fit and idea validation, but that is something you could definitely apply from if you're participating in Tech Under 20 Cup. That is where you learn a lot more of the technical content and some of the other stuff that will help you to connect the entrepreneurship side as well as the technical side. So Ventures is sort of focusing a little bit more on the entrepreneurship and directing you to those resources to sort of develop those technical applications. Um, but yeah, at the same time, like if you really want to code this app and you feel like you have the means and you're capable of coding the app, then by all means, like go for it. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Thanks.
Yeah. But yeah, like to answer your question a little bit more specifically though, like we won't be directly showing you how to program or how to like we'll definitely point you in those directions if you're interested, but we don't have the capacity to point to specifically show you how to program a specific app or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys have any other questions? No. Alrighty, so I think that's about it for today. There's nothing else that we really need to go over. As always, if you need to, contact me, ask me any other questions, feel free to do so. And either Timur or myself or even Dennis would be really happy to do so. Um, but yeah, like if you have any other questions, like feel free to I'll stay back for a few more minutes if you need to. Otherwise, I hope you guys have had a very relaxing break. We didn't want to keep this meeting too long. But yeah, hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe. And by the way, next week, we're going to also have a speaker joining us from, I think, one of the entrepreneurship networks. She's up to some really cool things and actually helps people. Like her company helps people to go join their organization as like one person or two people and actually go out as a entire company. So she's going to share her stories on how her company achieves that and what they do. It's really cool. I might have butchered some of the details there, but definitely come and check it out. She's really cool. Yeah, hope to see you guys next week. Stay safe and have fun.
Bye.
See ya.